What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and I'm back again in another week in TokuBrew, or whatever we're calling it, because I keep inconsistently calling the show's name wrong, but whatever. With me, as always, is my always lovely, always dashing, always... I've ran out of bits.
I thought
Fiance!
you were gonna say embarrassing. I was about to get real sad.
Uh, Fiance.
I'm Stormy.
Starting off this episode great. And this is going to be covering more Don Brothers content, because not only do we have the 6th episode of Don Brothers.
I think so.
Yeah, this is 6.
Yeah.
And the Kamen Rider Den-O specials. Yeah, because apparently Den-O and Don Brothers had to do a crossover.
I mean, it makes sense. They're both based off of the Momotaro story, so.
Yeah, they both technically have a Momotaro, yeah.
Also, sorry, this is a little bit late. Life got in the way, but.
Been busy.
I mean, but the next episode should be on schedule.
Well, yeah, I'm about to say, if another episode's going up right next to it, don't be surprised.
Yeah.
So.
It happens. We're sorry.
It's fine. So, do we want to explain outside of, like, that's pretty much just it? Like, is there a Den-O demon or something they have to keep at bay, so they have to keep making content based around Den-O? Because there has barely been that much of a year. There's been a very weirdly not that long of a gap of Den-O content since it's ended in 2007.
Oh my god, that was way over 10 years now.
Yeah, the 10-year anniversary was a few years back. Yeah.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
It was 2007, late 2007, but I think it also went into 2008.
But yeah, there's been like a pretty steady stream of Den-O.
Oh yeah, no, it's like the show that never ended.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
everyone loves it.
If anything, it's a good show.
I love it.
To be having consistent content for, because Den-O is really good. So.
Even if the actors can't stick around, but that's for another podcast for another day.
Oh, yeah, that would be really good. I would love to like have like a nice
just talk about Den-O.
A nice like actual like long, not just like this week in Toku, but like an actual like just sit down long recording of us like talking about like different Kamen Rider shows and just like our thoughts on like some of our favorites, because so much to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about.
But in these
like
little
Orb.
specials, they decided to mainly talk about pudding. So.
Oh yeah, all 3 episodes were. So if you guys were wondering what Den-O would be doing in the year 2022, it is literally Don Momotaro keeps saying like, "God damn it, Momotaros. You have so much to learn about how
you pudding. It all revolves around pudding somehow.
By the way, these were all
episodes right now.
There's only ever gonna be 3, I think.
Oh, there's not gonna be. I kind of wanted more. I was like, I hope there's more.
They were less than 2 minutes long.
Yeah, they were very, very short.
So. Yeah, these were obviously supposed to be taking place apparently before the first episode, because it ended with being like, oh, and watch Don Brothers when it comes out at 9:30 a.m. Don't miss it. It's something Eastern Standard Time, because we don't have different time zones. Ew. I'm sorry, I just remembered so much Jet X right there.
Figure it out. I want to make that like a ringtone, just you going.
Nobody would understand.
I would, and that's enough.
But yeah, no. So
there's not a lot to talk about. It was literally like them.
It was
very early.
How to eat pudding.
What to do with the container.
Well, yeah, how to use the container for potted plants of the sort.
Yeah, like how to use the container. Everything except for throwing it away, and then especially not litter, because they said don't litter. Good?
I'm okay.
And then the third one was other things that you can use pudding for. I'm not even kidding. It was like, okay, this is the perfect way to eat
pudding
it.
French toast.
By the way, I couldn't tell if this was a flan or if this was like a vanilla pudding, but it's like like it comes in like a cup, and then you like turn it upside down, and it's like this. It looks like a little flan, and has like caramel on top or caramel or whatever. And it's like, oh, you eat the middle first, so you can get caramel throughout the whole thing. And then it's like, and you can use the container for like potted plants or crayons or dips or like just things you use tiny things for. And it had a cute little cactus in it, and I kind of loved it. And then the next one was you can make pudding French toast for breakfast, and you can also.
And it always ended with.
And somehow it was like, oh, you can make it into an omelet, and I'm sitting there like, okay, I got the French toast. It sounded really delicious, but an omelet? Is this? I don't know. Either way, it looked delicious. God,
yeah.
Japanese food looks so good all the time.
But yeah, no, it was just always like Momotaro's doing everything really weird, and like so.
Who's this guy?
Yeah,
there was this monster that was just tagging along.
No, there was always like it was the same monster every time. I think it was the monster we saw get murdered in the beginning of Dawn Brothers.
Oh, is it?
I think so. And you just see like him just be like, oh, it's 3:00, time for my. It's like really gag-like, where it's just like a clock.
Like people stole the suits and like made some shorts and then put them back, and then this just mysterious.
Oh, this feels very much like a shit post.
Exactly, it feels like a shit post. But I think what
that's how the next Genom Thouser special is gonna feel, isn't it?
God,
it's gonna just feel like the ultimate shit post, but with
I'm
Dan.
looking forward to it. I feel like with those two chaotic energies, the freaking universe is gonna implode. But I think the thing that threw me off that I got a good laugh at was they didn't have the whole entourage of them having a platform with his motorcycle on top and he's riding the motorcycle that they are carrying. They didn't have that, so it was just him on some guy's shoulders.
Oh yeah, as like they bring him in.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was insanity.
It was just a fun time. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you want to talk about the actual episode?
Yeah, so episode 6.
Very, like...
Kaji focused.
I was gonna say, like, info dump, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, there was, like, a lot, kind of, like, exposition. But it was, I mean, hell, you've been hearing us talk about it, like, oh, but we don't really know yet. So it's like, okay, finally they're starting to explain a few things. And
okay, do we want to start out here? With, like, the info dump?
Sure. Is there anything particular you want to...
Well, we find out... We pretty much just learned how, like, things are functioning. Also, we learned... I guess, let's just do other info. Like, this is ambiguous info first. But we gotta learn about points.
Yeah, like, it got mentioned that, like, these guys... Like, in a video game are, like, getting points.
Like,
that you can spend somehow to, like, make a wish or something?
Or... Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Like, they've mentioned like 5 or 6 different things that you could do with these points, but they also don't tell you how you get them. Yeah, it's like, yeah, and that's what we learned. It's like, hey, use your points
very
wisely and very carefully because there might be a bad defect or whatever. And that's actually where we get into a lot of the Kaji brother focus.
Yeah, but also before we forget, because I feel like I will forget if I don't mention this right now.
Mm-hmm.
This also kind of leads to me wondering more about, like, what Kaido's character is, because he was the one that told Kaji brother about these points. He didn't say, like, oh, how do I do that? But it just kind of happened. So it makes me wonder if it's just, like, oh, saying the words, I wish, or something. But, like, he was the one, like, yeah, use your points, do it. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm getting evil vibes. What are you doing? Why is Kaido evil? I don't like this.
I don't think he's evil.
I don't know, but either way, like, I'm wondering what his involvement is, because we just kind of see, like, these little tail ends of him being involved, but we don't really have a clear picture yet. And this just kind of makes it more on, like, a negative end of just, oh my gosh.
Kaido is definitely in one of those things where I don't think he's bad. Because we see them all converge eventually in the coffee shop. Like, that's all... Like, that's where everything is. That's going to be their hangout. Like, that's what we've been there every episode. Oni's sister works there. Like, that's our hub.
Yeah.
So why make it the bad guy's hub?
I don't know.
And it's like he was helping and sending Juran. So it's like, it's very hard to tell.
But I just wanted to mention that before we forgot. Because I feel
Yeah.
like that's a detail we forget.
It might have been. But yeah, no. Also, so Kaji Brother, we open up. I guess let's get into the Kaji Brother stuff since we're here. That Kaji Brother is going in here. He pulled an Anakin. He was just like, oh, his wife was going to like a party and it was going to receive a reward for being the best beautician or something like that. And they were both getting ready to go. They were in the cab, and he was just like last minute being like, "Oh shoot, I have these priors I gotta go do on the Sundays."
Well, it was work. But...
Yeah, I know. I was making a joke.
I know.
He was making.
They don't know that.
Yeah. So.
And he freaking broke my heart because he's just like, I don't want to embarrass her because I'm just an embarrassing person.
He's like, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough for her. I just want to feel like I don't deserve her. I'm sitting like, no, baby, no.
And then that's when he goes to Kaido, and that's when, like you said, he was like, use your points.
Yeah, it's something along the lines of, I want to feel like I deserve my wife.
Yeah. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? He was even confused. He's like, what?
What are you talking about? How do I do that?
He's like, what do you mean? He's
what
like,
points?
But then he said, oh, but if I could use something, if that something was happening, I'd want to use them so I could be something my wife can be more proud of or something.
Or I want to feel more deserving.
Yeah, like I like to be the man that she deserves.
Yeah, something like that.
And then he became like a fucking huge ass.
He was such a douche. And I was like, no!
He was like the
worst. Perfect! Why?
Like, yeah, he started it literally just went. It went from going to being like, oh, life's kind of mediocre, or like, oh, life kind of sucks, to you're getting all these promotions. You're getting, oh my god, your project got chosen. You won the prize.
There's a race. You won the prize.
Okay, wait.
You has people seen random lady by typing fast?
Yeah, like think like early Birdemic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like being like undescript working for a company for something and just getting told that you just keep winning like every moment.
Oh man, his ego just inflated.
Yeah, and like it's like I was just like, I'm glad he's gonna learn this. Like this is like him learning a lesson, because this upsets me. This makes me sad.
Mm-hmm. And we really started to pick up on it because when he got home, he's like, I got a promotion. She's like, oh my gosh, that's great. I'll make us a special dinner. And he's like, no, we're going to go to that fancy French restaurant. She's like, I don't know, those kind of places, those places make me kind of nervous. And he's like, yeah, but I'll have you. And he's all excited, and she's like, oh, okay. And then they go to the place. He rented the entire freaking restaurant out. And, like, she's like, wow, this wine is really delicious. He's like, we should have ordered something more expensive. And then she basically is just like, the whole moral of the entire episode just being like yeah, but
then she starts falling into a coma.
It's good enough. It doesn't need to be expensive to be good. And then and he's like kind of a dick to the staff too, which is like, it's cold in here. And then she just like freaking passes out.
Oh yeah, then it's like, yeah, he just started being like dicks to everyone. Like he even went to like go hire a Momotaro and everything, being like, hey, don't you want to be something better than a delivery man? He's like, but I'm satisfied with my work.
I'm happy with my job. He's like, don't you want to do something bigger? And he's like, there are no big jobs and there are no small jobs to me. Like,
yeah, exactly. He's like, I think he straight up says,
this actor is so freaking good.
Yeah.
Because he had this blank expression, but he legitimately looked offended.
Yeah. Like it didn't look like he was genuinely like angry face, like, I'm mad.
Yeah, it
was
like
just
your friend said something hurtful.
Yeah, and you're just like, whoa.
Excuse me. I'm just like, that's some good freaking acting.
I liked, and all of a sudden, and Kaji Brother was more of a dick to him, yada yada yada. But he used to say, he's like, what happened to you, man? You used to be stronger.
You're weak.
Yeah, he's like, you're the weaker than the last time I saw you. And it was just like, wow. Really, it was weirdly impactful. And it was just kind of sad to see him get to that point. And then his wife falls ill during that dinner, like you were saying.
Yeah, they go to the hospital.
She was like, ugh, cardiac arrest!
Well, we don't really know what happened.
Yeah, we're
what
not.
did happen?
Like, we just know that she went to the hospital, so was that the consequence for the points?
Possibly. We don't know much about what the points are
Yeah.
and how they work quite yet. But, if there's one thing, like, I don't know if this is the best place to put it, but there's one thing that I really gotta give this show credit for, because there's a way to do, how do I put this? Like, when you have an episode of a show, it doesn't have to be Toku, just a show in general, or even just media, like a book or whatever, where it's like, oh, we got these answers, but only left us with more questions. There's a good and bad way to do it, in my mind. Like, there's a right and a wrong way. The wrong way is, like, oh, you have a question, you receive the answer, but it either didn't explain it well enough, or it just opened up more questions about the same question.
It was just cryptic, be cryptic.
Yeah, and then there's a good way of doing it, of, you have a question, it gives a satisfying answer, and then, but, because it gives you a little bit more information, it leads you to have a new question about a different thing. That's the good way, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And
Yeah.
I feel like this show did this in such a good way. Like, for instance, like, what we're going to talk about in a little bit is, like, this more satisfying answer of some of the questions that we've had for, like, the past couple episodes. But it led us with a couple new questions about, like, where it's going to be going from now on. So,
Yeah.
I wanted to try and, while I still had it in my head, like, find a good way of explaining it.
Yeah.
You in there? Hello?
Yeah, like,
You're just staring into the distance.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, am I boring you?
No, it's like, and I agree. And like, you want to get to that info dump right now? We'll, like, just put a pin into the Kaji Brothers stuff real quick.
I mean...
Because
yeah,
I think it happened before. Because I want to say it was, like, the party thing, and then, like, he said something about using the points. And then it, like, was, like, them the next morning. It was, like, Oni sister, Sour brother, and Momotaro.
They went up to... Because...
They were like, hey, we know
questions.
you, we know that we're all warriors. What, like, was the deal?
We have questions about, like...
Yeah,
what are we fighting for? Who are they? What are
yeah,
their
like,
goals?
who are our villains? And Momotaro's like, I have no answers for you.
And then... Electric prison. By the way...
Wait, no, before, he was just like, he's like, there's no other reason outside. No, he was like, but I can give you the reason we should do it.
He's just like, yeah, they're...
It's like...
I wish I remember
we need
what
to
he
rise.
said. He said it really well. Like, the words that he used specifically were really nice, but I don't remember what it was. But
yeah, then we go to the electric prison.
and then they get to ask the dad. By the way, you had pointed out that we don't technically know if he's actually, like, his dad or just, like, the person that raised him. But in all honesty, I feel like that's just his dad. Like...
Yeah. And it's like the only reason I thought that was because he, like, Momotaro knows that's not his real dad, and or like that's not his name, so he always called him Jin.
Yeah, but it's like that's still the person that like, raised him, made him into
I
the
know,
person
but it's
he
like
is.
the thing that's like he can't say a lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't believe in it. Like
so you pulled it up here. Do you want to like just like read out what he said?
It's just like, oh, do you really need reasons for everything? And
what needs to be done will become clear when it comes to it. That's good enough. And it's like, yeah. That's like, for someone that doesn't have an answer but doesn't feel like they need one, that's actually like a really eloquent way of putting it, or a very zen answer as
Sour brother as you read it from the subtitles.
Yeah.
Which again, every subgroup could put this slightly differently, so maybe there will be some words different.
Same general idea, though.
But like, and I don't mind that. And they immediately get shot to his dad, and he's just like,
I can answer.
He's
your
like,
questions.
I can answer your questions.
The reason that he doesn't have the answers is because he is the answer. And we're like, interesting.
Yeah, it's just like he is the answer for whatever, for all the problems. But the people you're fighting are called the like Supremes or the Subrians.
Okay, I don't know if we're gonna be getting like
Sarbarians.
the exact labels of what they are. I think I'm gonna try and explain this the best I can. Let me know if I do anything incorrectly. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know how to say their name?
No, I wasn't. Well, that's not the part I'm focusing on. I'm just focusing on how things work rather than what they're called, because I'm not gonna say them right. I'm not gonna remember. Whatever.
Okay.
So, there's basically these two different worlds. There's the humans world, and there's the villains that we've been seeing. There's their world, basically. And the thing that disrupts their world is humans, like, emotions getting too riled up, basically. And the thing that does that the most is desire.
Mm-hmm.
And when humans get too much desire, they make the monsters.
Like the monsters of the week that are the Sentai Gear based ones.
Exactly. And the bad guys, again, I don't know if... do they actually have, like, a name for their group or anything?
Yeah, they're the Sobrarians or something.
Sombreros. Got it. And they're...
And if the name is what I'm saying is wrong, I'm sorry. This is the first time we're seeing it, so it's not much in my memory yet.
Like, we'll get better at it. And their job is to eliminate those because, again, it disrupts their world.
And could destroy it, I think.
And one of the conditions of... and again, as we've said, it's just like, oh, we don't really know what happens to the people and everything. But one of the things that they have said are they do not experience desire. I don't know if they specifically said emotions, but like,
yeah, and
they don't quite understand.
They don't even say what the world is. They just say it's a higher plane of existence.
Something like that.
That's exactly what it says.
Now, and I don't know if this would be considered spoilers because we are on this episode, and if you're watching along, like you've seen this episode, so this is where it kind of gets a little bit more into theory-y kind of area, right?
Yeah.
So, again, feel free to like add.
Well, yeah. Well, like here. Okay, wait. I posed this question while we were asking it. Of what if Taro was one of these higher planed beings who descended down to Earth, and like, because we would then later see with the Sabrarians, which getting into their stuff is, they each have an emotion that intrigues them.
But they don't understand.
But they don't understand said emotion, and it's almost what drives them. But they're all excellent at everything. It's like they're and it's like
higher beings.
Yeah, they're higher beings. It's like things are always below them, and like
one was they were fascinated by like laughter. One of them was love. The other one was kind of a little bit more ambiguous.
Yeah.
But they're more of, like, the leader. They're already over.
Yeah, like, that's Blue Gridman guy.
But it seems like it was still there a little bit.
Yeah. The other, like, Spear guy just wants to figure out how to laugh. And then we go see them go try to force those experiences to happen and trying to figure them out. And it was weird because it's like you had the girl being like, oh, I'm going to go see, like, some guy comes up to her being like, hey, you're hot, and she's just like, oh, is this an expression of love? And she's like, hell yeah, it is. And then she's like,
this is boring, fuck you,
boring, out of here. And like then blows a door, and it's like, oh, that door will open soon. And I guess those doors are what represents like the monsters possessing them, because later
we see like the laughter guy, the umbrella dude.
Yeah.
What we see is like, oh, he is like on the top of a hospital and these two nurses are laughing together, and he's just like, is this how you laugh?
Like doing crappy laughs,
like,
just being
laughing.
Like those were like he was doing fake laugh.
Eats candy. I heard that. And then he's just like, and he blows the doors onto their foreheads.
Mm-hmm.
Psychonaut style, I guess. And then he looks
that totally is like Psychonauts.
I was trying to remember where I've seen the doors on the forehead. I only just remembered. And then he looks at one of the nurses like, oh, that one's bigger than I thought. Interesting. And then she ends up being the monster of the day. So
yeah,
it's like,
she's
there's the connection there. But anyway, one of the leads up to what we've been saying all this for is Momotaro's obviously is good at everything, but he doesn't understand happiness, and
he wants to figure out what it is.
He wants to figure out like it's even like what he leaves the episode on. Like if you want to like run it all the way back to Kaji Brother, because like once his wife wakes up, he's like, hey, I ended up not taking the job, and she's like, oh, thank God you were being a dick. And then, like, you know, they're smiling and laughing and going back to how they were, and then he's just like, because they had a little bit of a competition earlier.
Yeah, they were like, hey, whoever can do...
He finds out that Taro is...
Yeah, that is Don Momotaro, yeah. Taro found out Taro was Taro.
Yeah, I
and
know.
the Taro.
Taro.
Have we said Taro enough times?
Possibly. Perhaps. And then he's just like, you win because I would never be able to make a woman feel
smile
happiness like that. I would never be able to make someone smile like that. And so it just, I feel like that would be really interesting because what they seem to be showing is that the bad guys,
they don't like human ambition.
They don't like humans' desires. They don't like their ambition. It gets in the way for them. And when they destroy the monsters, again,
it's just solving their problem.
It kills the human and like whatever they were affecting because they don't care. And the difference with like the Sentai team is like the humans survive afterwards.
Well, yeah, and
so again, it's like, oh, was he sent like freaking Peach Jesus?
Yeah,
to like
he's Jesus,
man. He was a part of these people, so he knows how it works, and he's the key to getting.
But he was raised by humanity, and he wants to see, and he wants humanity's ambition and everything. He wants to see people do better, better.
I think he even like embraces that side and encourages it because what's the thing that he does when he freaking rides in being carried by his freaking posse? He's just like dance and sing. This is the paradise.
This is a festival.
This is a festival. You know, go freaking crazy. He's freaking ah, you know.
Yeah, he's laughing and everything. Yeah, enjoying it like it's something to be enjoyed, and I fully. Like, we don't know what that means, and then we find out, like, there's even, like, a higher set of beings.
Like, they mentioned, an admin and a council. The admin seems to be more
I think the admin is a council. Well, no, it's like, it sounds like one place over everyone. Like, it sounds like humans can't interact with it, but, like, Jin was just like, oh, but that's going higher to, like, the admin, to the admins. And so, he didn't mention the council at all.
The council was mentioned by the villains. Bad guys.
Well, yeah.
The admin I think they're by Electric Dad.
So I think the admins are the same as the council.
I'm wondering if they're like the same thing but on the different sides.
I think they're just one and the same.
They could be the same, but they were mentioned by different names, so we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
See, again, like what I was saying, they answered some questions, gave us enough to go a little bit on the theories and like maybe make our own assumptions, but leave us with different, more intriguing questions, you know?
Yeah, and
more specific questions.
And it's like, and it did give, and all of a sudden, like, then Saru Brother was immediately like, he's like, well, what if I don't want to be a warrior? He's like, this is something, he's like, this is definitely a crusade I'd like to join. This is something, he's like, but what if I wanted to stop? Like, what if I didn't want to fight? He's just like, well, you could get enough points to leave the Dawn Brothers team.
Yeah, like, it's like, if you get enough points, you could leave if you wanted to, or you could just make any wish you want.
Or make a wish, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, we even kind of saw, I was hoping we would see it, just like, like a grid or something of, like, how they're keeping track of these points, and we do actually see it. Kaido's
somehow being able to track their points.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're not quite sure what Kaido is yet. Is Kaido one of those people?
We don't know what his deal is, and it's like, I'm really intrigued, and it's like, but I'm also just like, what are you doing to my boy? Where's Jiren? I was told he was in here.
I know, right? So many rumors for this show are just not true, and it's weird.
I think this is really but I'm Ching. This is really gearing up to be this is really gearing up to be a really good show. I feel like this is gonna be.
I'm really intrigued. I really am. We didn't see Inoue Brother at all this episode.
I mean, other than like just I'm here to fight, and then he got stabbed in the butt.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the butt, and then we didn't see him again. But
yeah, it's getting really interesting. Really, I'm wondering if this is like because again, like
no big monster this week.
Yeah,
oh wait,
they slowly introduced each of the main
five.
I'm wondering if this is like what they're gonna be doing. Oh, now they're gonna be like expanding a little bit more on the villains and.
Well, now we have 3 out of the 4 of them that know Don Momotaro is Taro.
Who's the last one?
Inoue brother doesn't know yet.
Blue?
Black.
Oh, Black. Well, yeah, he's kind of on the run.
He's always running, like the Running Man. Have you seen that movie?
Well, I don't.
It's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and he's in a like apocalyptic future where he's in like an evil game show that he has to survive, but it's like rigged in his favor, like in like the challenger's favor, where it's like oh, like nobody ever wins this game show, kind of thing.
You mean rigged against him then?
Yes.
You said.
I meant. Either way.
I don't think I've seen this.
Oh. Okay.
That was off topic.
Yeah.
I mean.
How did I get there?
I don't know. Freaking ask yourself that.
The points
But
and everything.
anyway.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Inoue brother doesn't know yet, but overall, it was a really interesting episode.
Yeah, good stuff. This was really good stuff. I feel like. As much as it's like, oh, I feel like a lot happened, I feel like a lot of the information is very straightforward. Bless
Sorry.
you.
Just keep going.
A little for him.
I was trying to stop myself from sneezing.
Oh my gosh. But it was very straightforward though, so I don't really feel like there's a whole lot to
Oh wait,
expand
let's talk about the
on.
altar.
The altar?
Yeah, the new altar form. We got Juoger altar where he just got cubes
Oh,
and he started
yeah.
T-posing to assert dominance. He's going for it, bro.
Ah.
And he kept telling him, and he kept.
The monster is just the logo.
Yeah, the monster was just the Juoger logo, but I'm talking about when he was fighting the spear guy, and he's like, "And this is how you laugh."
Aha!
It was amazing. I really had fun. But yeah, no. So overall, our theories are, Taro is Jesus,
Well, yeah, but
and now we know how to use pudding in all its ways. Got anything else?
I don't know if there's really too much else to really say.
Yeah.
I didn't mention this while we were watching it, but like when Kaji Brother's wife
Fell into a coma or what?
No, when she woke up and he was like kind of back to normal.
Yeah.
He like did his hair different and shit, and
He had the douche haircut.
Yeah, I was really happy because he just like looked. He went back to like looking like himself, and he had the crazy hair.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked his sweater of all things. Like, for whatever reason, I just kept looking at his sweater and being like, I really like that sweater.
Give me that sweater.
No! It'll be like $200.
You're
I'm
right.
not
And
even
it's like a
kidding.
plain pink sweater, too.
Yeah,
Like, you could probably buy anywhere, but it's going to have, like, a certain color shade of pink that Toei is going to copyright and sell it.
Kaji pink.
Oh, my God. Oh, would that go right next to Ayanami blue?
Oh. What would that purple make?
Very interesting. Very interesting it would be.
Kaji Nami.
Oh, my God.
Kaji Nami purple.
Toei, contact us. I know you're listening. I know you're listening.
It keeps happening. It keeps freaking happening. Whenever we're like, oh,
Nothing's happening. No, nothing's happening.
No,
But
it's happened before is what I'm saying. Like, oh, whenever we're like, oh, this is an interesting idea.
Oh.
It happens.
Oh, do you mean like how I feel my life has been bugged? Because I'm like, oh, this would be neat. And then it's announced or happens.
I'm the same freaking way, so we share that curse at least.
Well, yeah, so
Anyway,
yeah.
So if suddenly they start selling paint named after
Kaji brother.
named after like Toku stuff, we freaking called it.
If there is no Kamen Rider shade of color that they are selling in Japan, I will be shocked.
Well, I mean, I imagine most people do, but if you don't know Ayanami Blue, it's from
Are you
Evangelion.
actually getting into it?
It's Evangelion. Evangelion. It's named after one of the characters.
It's yeah. If you know you if you're
I don't want to
Evangelion.
leave people out, okay? I went freaking like what over 20 years without even knowing what Evangelion was. You never know. Ooh, we should do a podcast
Phil-
about Evangelion. And the crazy
all
bits
my
behind it.
all my favorite Ultraman references.
Oh, look at all this! Look at all this religious symbolism.
Oh man, I hope they enjoy my Ultraman references.
I hope they enjoy my Ultraman fan fiction.
Oh my god, anyone who's mad about that has a stick up their ass.
Whoa, you're...
I'm just saying.
Whoa!
Whoa! Okay, we're going a little crazy now.
Okay, we will have the next Stone Brothers up shortly.
Yep.
Thank you for waiting patiently.
And we'll be back with you shortly.
Nice.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I can't speak.
All right, let's go. Bye.
Bye.